Hi everyone, welcome. It's Friday again, right? Time flies. I don't even remember what have happened last week, but I know it is a really amazing. And my wins, right? Everybody should celebrate your wins. What is your wins for this week, right? My big wins is I actually have hired another 7 more virtual assistants and give them, a lot of direction and test them out and see whether they're going to be really good for our organization or not. Because again, there's just so much to do in the organization. And and I don't have the time to get it done. Am I right? So anyway, again, coming here live, right? My name is Phyllis. I am AKA the boss. I'm here to give you a lot of values, updates on what to do, how to do with virtual assistants. And here we have Monic and Mary. You guys wanted to introduce yourself?
Yes, hi, good morning, everyone. My name is Monique. I am a Phyllis assistant for 9 years. Yes, I'll always say that. So my win for today, I slept for 10 hours. So, yay!
Wow, that's a lot of hours.
Yes, and
Yay.
I can't remember the last time I had 10 hours of sleep. So that's the biggest win for me today.
Yay.
I always get that. But anyway, but yeah, hi everyone. So good morning. So yeah, my name is Mary. So yeah, I am the accountant and my win for today, what's my win? Because I always have 8 or 10 hours of sleep like every week. But yeah, I really sleep long, boss. Maybe my wins for maybe this week. I got to spend more time with the new talent managers. So had the time to train them, and hopefully next week they're good to go already. Yeah, so that's my
Absolutely.
win for this week, boss, and good morning again, everyone.
Yes. See, we are all very excited to be here with you. And again, we're going to be here every Friday, and we're still trying to figure out whether it's 9:15, 9:30, because we're still trying to figure out the technical challenges that we run into, right? So, again, last week, what did we talk about? Last week we talked about, who do you really want to hire based on the task that you really need? Am I right? And this week, what we want to talk about is, hey, you already figured that out. Right now, maybe you're trying to figure out, well, I mean, I post my ads, I have scheduled some people, or maybe before you hire the people, you're like, well, I mean, who should I be really looking into? Who is the technically quote unquote the right virtual assistant for me? Am I right? And I think that is a very important topic to talk about. And the truth is, I love people. For me, I interview like 10 people, I hire 7. So I might not be the best person to talk to you about that, because I just want to give everybody a chance. But I know for a fact that, Monique and Mary will have a lot more to share with you on who you should really look for. But, again, my number one tip, for you is, look for people who really connect with you, the energy level, right? The resourcefulness, right? The way you talk. I speak really fast too. So, during the interview process, I don't slow down. I just speak the way that I usually speak and see whether they will connect with me, they can catch up with me or not. Because again, communication is the number one thing. If communication is doing well, then everything else is pretty easy. But if communication is not doing well, then the rest is going to be hard. So that would be my first tip. And maybe we can, go around and, continue giving tips until time is up. What do you guys think about that?
Sure, boss. Maybe I go next. Maybe yeah, I agree on you about who you connect the most. And yes, and for me, maybe in just another term, if you're going to hire, maybe the personality or the character, especially because you will interview them, right? So I think the personality that you think you want to work with, because I know sometimes we just really look into the skills, like the one with really high skills, very good experience, but as to the personality, you're not really like comfortable with them with the personality. But yeah, so I think choose the applicant that has the personality that you want to work with. Yeah, because it matters too. Like if you want to hire a VA that will last with you. So yeah, that's my one tip.
Yay. Love that, Mary. What about you,
Okay.
Monique?
Yeah, for me, I think it is the positivity or the attitude while they are on the interview, while you are doing the interview with them. There are definitely positions that require, you know, a specific skill set, maybe video editing. Those require specific skill set, right? Or someone, you might be needing someone who's very good at doing a specific task. However, we don't always check on the skill set. I think the positivity one once you are on the interview, how they answer your questions, it is always on the positive side. I think their attitude should be towards the you know, they're light, they're positive when they're answering their questions, because you will interact with them on a daily basis, and I think you want to be with someone, you want to be with someone who's really positive, right? You don't want to talk to someone, it's always negative, it's always wrong, it's always, you know, so for me, it's always the attitude, good attitude, and a positive mindset. And you would sense that when you do the interview with them. Mm-hmm.
Absolutely, absolutely. We're very big on languaging, you know, where your focus goes, your energy flow, right? If the person think that they can figure out everything, they most likely will be able to. If the person think that, oh man, everything is a challenge, right? Everything's a concern, then it's gonna be a little bit more challenging to get that done. Am I right? Because it's just all about your mindset. And on top of that, I think one thing that I wanted to really stress out on this is, I know that a lot of people are looking for talent, right? And talent means a lot of talent mean different for everyone. For me, talent really mean characteristic. Do they have the characteristic to grow and learn from me? My big thing is, you know, everything can be learned, everything can be taught, you know. However, characteristic, personality profile type sometimes cannot be taught and learned as fast. And again, so for me, with experience wise, I usually like to hire people who have a little bit of experience, and I grow them into the experience that they really want. However, you know, there's people who are just looking for experience and not looking for everything else. So again, I think you also want to ask yourself, what are you looking for? Are you looking for somebody that is, you know, have some basic experience, but amazing personality profile, and you grow them into it? Again, obviously that might take 2 weeks, a month to get them to where you need them to be. Or are you really looking for somebody who is really highly experienced, you know, and maybe just okay with characteristic and attitude, right? And you wanted to, you know, work with them on that, right? So again, that's something that you need to choose and pick. You know, for me, I love the first one, because I noticed that usually they're a lot more, you have more gratitude and always very loyal to me, because it's almost as like, you know, when people are not really, you know, value me, you value me. And then now you give me the skills, the tool set. Now I become superstar, and I always stay with you as a superstar. So, all right, who wants to go next? Unmute yourself, Mary.
No, boss. I was just saying, who wants to go next? I'm still thinking, boss.
I think the next one that Mary, you can talk about is, you know, their resume. How do you screen their resume through? You know, what do you really see or not see in that? I know you have really good experience in that. I am not so good at that. I usually just based on person profile and hire them.
Yes, boss. With the resume, actually, one thing that I do check in resume is just really the tenure, the work experiences, the tenure of the applicant with his or her previous employers. Because if you're looking for a long-term VA and then the resume that shows like they've been hopping in from one job to another, like in a year, they work with, let's say, 5 clients already. So that's really a red flag. That means yeah, there's something with that applicant. Either she's not, the applicant is not the type that really stay long with the client, or the applicant is really not performing well. That's why the client decided to let go of them. Because I've been asking that, actually. I've been asking that whenever I have an interview, I do check the resume and I ask them why. Why is that? And the client, actually, the usual answer of the applicant is that it's contractual based. But this is just for me as an interviewer, actually. So even if you're in contractual base, if the client really likes you and if you are really performing well, I mean, if I am the client, I would really love to extend your contract. Something like that po. So yeah, that matters. So regardless of how many company the client will put up, if like for you, right, boss? I mean, yeah, we've been through, but still, I'm still your VA for 3 years. So I'll just take on different tasks again and again. Because of course, I believe my performance is, I mean, you love my performance, right, boss? That's why I'm here. So yeah, that's just, yeah.
I love it. I love it. So I guess, what would look good for you on the resume? Is it like, like a minimum is like what, a year per job, two job per year, what would that look like?
A year or two, something like that. And then, but of course, longer than that, that's really a good indication that they really stay with the what they call it, with the client that they had before.
Gotcha. Good. I am learning to myself, because sometimes I was like, wow, I mean, you have virtual assistant, they get fired all the time. So, it's okay to have 5 jobs in a year. However, listen to what Mary and Monique say, because they're better than me on hiring.
Because boss, I think the reason too, because it's the client. I mean, I think that's why our community is special. Because I mean, in freelancing, this is what I noticed, boss. Okay, and yeah, based on what I know too, like in freelancing, it is very normal. Like just 6 months, 3 months, it's very difficult to find a client that will really have you for them in a long term. But in our community, I do believe all if not most, okay, all of our clients really look for a long-term VAs. And of course, the VA has to work on that too. Like they have to earn it, like that long term. I mean, we didn't stay long with you and Mamunik, especially Mamunik, for years by just doing what we were asked to do. So we also have to, of course, maintain the good job, the output, the good output we're providing you. That's why we stayed here. So,
or maybe I'm just real nice. Even if you don't do a good job, I just keep you anyway. Am I right? No, of course, you guys are doing a great job. All right. What about you, Monique? You have anything, you want, what do you want to add on that part? Or
since Mary already mentioned that most of our clients are definitely looking for someone who would stay with them for a long time, right? So this where, when I do the interview, I always ask them, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? From there, you would see what are their goals, right? And if they're only looking for a short-term position, maybe it's just because pandemic today, or maybe they're just looking for because they have nothing to do today, so they just wanna get a job. But asking them that question, you would know what are their goals in 5 years, what they want to do, what they want to accomplish, or are they looking for a long-term position? And also, I always love the question. What are the what's that? Sorry. What are the tasks that you love to do, and what are the tasks that you do not love doing? I think we should always ask that question, because sometimes some of the VAs will just will just apply for a position just to get a job, but they actually do not love what, let's say someone is applying for a marketing position, but their experience are actually in doing accounting, just because they just want to apply, just because they think they can do marketing, just because they've already done let's say something in their page, but working on it for a client is a totally different level of marketing. So I always love to ask that question, and we always want to hire them on the positions that they would love to do, so they would last long as well, right?
Yes, absolutely. And I think the why behind it is very important too. Why are you looking for a job, right? Why this position? Do you really enjoy it? I know some people, we just hire talent manager, right? Who is obviously have to conduct interviews every single day, talk to people every single day. So we ask them, why do you like this job? And they say, man, because I love to talk. Oh, great job, because you love to talk. So interviewing people is not going to be hard for you because you love to talk. You get what I'm saying? But again, if you do not like to talk, then, obviously a call center position, right? Positions that you need to talk the whole day will not be a best job for you. So you need to, when you're doing the interviews, find the right candidates, that is one thing that you want to look for too. And I think on top of that too, I know a lot of clients already know about this, right? If, it's obviously scripts. Do they have script? Are they scripting their answer? And sometimes I feel like that is actually, for me, I think that is like I don't know, not really two-edged sword, but looking at it in two different area, right? One is obviously they really respect the interview, so they prepared themselves for a script, right? So you need to figure out a question that they can answer without their script. But at the same time, the second thing, when we notice that they are using script, is we will obviously test them out even more to make sure that they can really articulate themselves really well, on other position, just in case, because sometimes they are just obviously they're not good at communication skills. That's why they need the script. So, there's two sides on that. So don't disqualify them immediately if you see that they have script. But at the same time, if you notice that they're using script, you double check them and make sure that they really are doing good at communication.
Yes, boss, we can argue on that one, right? Because yeah, for me, be prepared, it means that for me, boss, like the script, speaking of the script, yeah, it's a good thing that they need to be prepared. It shows that they really want the job, so they prepared. So that one, but maybe on the other side, if you want, because if it's scripted already, you cannot test them if they can think that fast, like the wittiness of their brains. If their answers are on point, because if it's scripted, they can think it ahead. But if it's just very spontaneous, so you can really see like, okay, this applicant can really think. I like how she thinks whatsoever. So that's my point on the script too. So it depends. It's up to for the client, I guess, to decide. And for the applicants to take note too, of course.
And I think on the interview, you can also feel that, that there's this certain level that, they're genuine with the answers, how they answer the questions. You will definitely feel that on the interview.
The key is, Monique, I totally agree with you on that. However, sometime, and I just wanted to add that because they don't know about your cultural background. So they might think that they are not genuine, but a lot of times just because they're shy or they're overthinking or they're nervous. So, again, obviously we are very experienced in interviewing and we know you guys like the back of our hands, right? For people who are new, they don't know. So we need to, sometimes we need to actually think about that to make sure that they know. Amazing. And one of my favorite questions that I love to ask too is why should I hire you instead of everybody else? Why should I hire you instead of everybody else that is here? So then you can hear from them, whether they're confident with themselves or not, what is the answer that they have. Sometimes that is actually my deal breaker, on the answer that they come up with to, really get to know them more. And again, during the interview process, I love open-ended questions. So in the way I can really hear, how they think, how they structure their languages, and know more about them. Who wants to go next?
Maybe, yeah, if we're going to ask about the questions, what I usually do sometimes nowadays, boss, especially if the job description is, if you want someone that really has experience, because it depends, right, with the client, if the client wanted to have a VA that really has experience. So what I usually do sometimes is I will read them the job description, and I will really ask them like, what is their actual experience in relation to that job descriptions. And if they're going to rate themselves, rate themselves 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, what rate they could give to themselves. By doing that, you will know, and you will know how confident are they with their work experiences. Oh yeah.
Okay, yeah, for me, I just actually discovered a new question that I always ask nowadays. This is actually coming from a client that did a final interview with another VA. And I kind of like the question. And she asked, how me being your client, how do you want me to lead you or guide you so you can always be at your best? I really like that question because, it's always a two-way street. They always say it takes two to tango, right? So as an interviewer, I am asking that question. So our client would know, let's say they will hire this person. They would know how to communicate with the VA. They would know how to put him at or her at his best always. Let's say someone would like to be on a Zoom call always so they can communicate better with the client. Someone would like to be a VA would like to have a task narrowed down to him so we could just do a checklist and do it every day. It's definitely different every person. So I really like that question because as a client, I would know how to communicate with my VA so he could be at his best always. And that's for me. Hi, Troy.
Troy.
Yes, I really love it. I hope that, this, I hope that this has been really helpful to you. If you have more questions or more uncertainty, we do provide a course that is coming up. It's a done with you course that we will train you to see the sample of interviews and and how to pick the right one. We're going to put the link right down below. So if you're ever interested to learn more without trial and error and trying to figure out who to hire, what do you need to do on your your job ad, right, where to go, and so on and so forth. Feel free to check out the link down below, so that way you can see what we provide for you. Again, to a lot of people, it is, hiring is really simple. To some people, it's like, I need some extra support so that way I can, put myself forward to hire. Either way, we love you, we respect you, and we thank you for being here, right? And on top of that, if you have any questions at all, again, put it down on the comments so that way we can look at that and assist you with those questions on the next, on the next live. And again, life will never be the same when you have virtual assistant. And right now I have more than 20 of them. Okay. So thank you so much for coming in, and happy weekend. Enjoy.